My name is Destiny Hook, and the experiment I developed tests SPF 30 sunscreen versus coconut oil and their abilities to protect yeast cells from UV radiation. The objectives of the following slides begins with a background about SPF and the different levels of protection that it offers. Secondly, a hypothesis based on what we know about SPF and the different products being tested. Next, an experimental plan and execution. Following that, the results based on the experimental hypothesis and analysis of data, the concluding thoughts, and lastly, references. What is SPF? SPF is the common abbreviation for sun protection factor. The SPF number indicates how much protection against UV light a product offers. Products with a higher SPF offer more protection against UV rays than products with a lower SPF. SPF 15 sunscreen is considered low protection, where SPF 50 sunscreen is considered high protection. My hypothesis based on SPF 30 sunscreen, coconut oil, and their abilities to block UV radiation is that SPF 30 sunscreen is effective in blocking approximately 97% of UVA, UVB rays, where coconut oil is effective in blocking only up to 20% of UVA, UVB rays. If the yeast cells are treated with SPF 30 sunscreen, then the survival rate of the yeast will be higher than the survival rate of the yeast treated with coconut oil or left untreated when exposed to UV radiation. In my experiment, the experimental group is the SPF 30 treated yeast cells and coconut oil treated yeast cells. The control group is the untreated versus foil-covered yeast cell plate. Begin with 3 prepared plates of yeast cells. 1 plate will be left untreated, the second plate will be treated with SPF 30 sunscreen, and the third plate will be treated with coconut oil. All 3 plates will be covered halfway with foil and exposed to UVB lighting, and the number of yeast colonies present after 3 minutes of exposure will be observed and documented. As shown above, the results of the experiment were supported by my hypothesis. When the yeast cells were treated with SPF 30 sunscreen, then the survival rate of the yeast is proven to be higher than the survival rate of the yeast treated with coconut oil or left untreated and exposed to UV radiation. As predicted, the SPF 30 sunscreen offered the most protection with a surviving 206 colonies. The exposed and untreated yeast cells were most harmed with only a surviving 21 colonies. It has been concluded from the experiment that when it comes to protection against UV radiation, SPF 30 is more effective than coconut oil. The untreated yeast cells suffered the most during UV treatment, and coconut oil was proven only slightly more effective than applying no protection against UV radiation at all. Listed below are the references I used in my experiment. Thank you for watching.